Alright, welcome everyone. I'm Megaslayer321A and I will be your next host for the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis runs. As always, we are ASM, the Oz Speedrun Marathon, raising money for the Beyond Blue charity, a charity that promotes good mental health and works towards helping those who need it. We've had we've had a donation come in since the end of the previous one. We have $50 from Murray, who just says, "Great BK showcase."
Did something happen to my audio, or?
Oh, okay, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Alright, are we good to go?
I will just get myself in the correct page to start things up, and go ahead and give me a countdown when you're ready.
Alrighty. G'day everybody, my name is MangoPunch. I'm a speedrunner of Resident Evil 2 and 3 Classic, which I'll be showcasing both of those for you today. Let's just jump straight into it. We're going to be doing Claire B, which is the one of 4 different scenarios. I'll explain that when I start the run. But the timer starts just after I skip this cutscene. So timer starts in
Okay, go.
3, 2, 1, and go. So there's 4 different scenarios in this game that you play through depending on which character you pick first. So you've got Leon and Claire to pick from, and whichever character you pick, you get their A scenario. And then when you finish that one, you get a save game for the other character's B scenario. So the starting position is different. You start on the opposite side of the tanker crash that happens at the start of the game. And instead of running through the streets to get to the police station, you just go through this little back exit here, which you don't usually get to until about, 10 minutes into the run for the A scenario. So there's a few little differences here and there. The items are in different places for the B scenario, and things play out a little bit differently. But the main thing, though, is, for anybody who's familiar with Remake, you get Mr. X chasing you for a little bit, which, changes things up a little bit compared to the A scenario. So at the moment, we're just looking for a valve handle so we can put out that fire where the helicopter was just there. And here it is. We head back upstairs. And we have to run through this little murder of crows just here, which always troll me when I don't want them to. Oh, nice. Got through. It depends on which angle you run through them at. Like, sometimes they can just block you for seconds at a time. And if that happens, they usually start pecking you, which is not fun. Alright, so we're about to put out this fire so we can access a key card that we need to get into the rest of the police station. But we're about to meet our special friend who's going to be with us for the entire game. And we skip the cutscene, but we see a big object drop from the sky through the ceiling. And here he comes. There he is, Mr. X, everybody's favorite enemy, and he's gone. Thankfully, in the original game, he doesn't know how to use doors, so once you exit the room, he just vanishes. We hear a scream, but we're not going to deal with that until later on, because we can't actually get to that room just yet. So we just pick up this key card. Liquor drops from the ceiling. Oh no, big scary.
How
but it
does
just run
Mr.
past them.
X get anywhere if he can't use doors? There's just so many of them in this game.
Well, you'll see later on. He finds a way to traverse the police station. So I'm just gonna put away the gun and the knife because we will not need that for the entire run. Yeah, Mr. X has this thing called smashing through walls, which he does quite often. So that's probably how he gets everywhere.
That would do it.
Yeah. Now, gotta... Oh. Ah, damn. Oh, okay. Only took 1 bite. 2 bites. Okay. That's not great, but not terrible. So what I was supposed to do there was quickly judge how close those 2 zombies were to each other, and then if they were close, I was meant to run into the first one and push him into the second. But they were far away, which meant I was supposed to run around the first one. But my line was wrong, so yeah, I messed it up. That was all my bad. So pick up the grenade launcher, which the only weapon that we need through the entire game. Probably the most powerful weapon in the whole game, really. Especially with the acid rounds. Alright, now the rest of the rooms are unlocked, so we get to explore the rest of the station. So one of the other things with the A and B scenarios is certain things that you do in A carry over to B. So one of the things that happens in the A scenario is about halfway through, the game repopulates all the hallways with zombies again. But so you can close these shutters on these windows. If you don't close them in the A scenario, the zombies will burst through. And then they'll disappear in the B scenario. So for the save game that I'm using, I made sure that I used the shutters in the A scenario so the zombies wouldn't appear in the B. So that's why this hallway is empty right now, which is pretty handy. And I probably should have picked up that herb, but oh well.
Do you mind if I get in a quick donation?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so you do mind. Now, we have a $50 donation from Nathan saying, "Let's go, Papa."
Let's go. Alright, so pick up this gem. So we pick up 2 of these through the run. And I'll show you what those are for later on. But now we've got an annoying tricky dodge here. I've got to do like a stutter step. Nice, we got it. Yeah, you got to bait out that first zombie for a lunge, otherwise you won't be able to get past him. But sometimes he just doesn't want to do it. He'll just wait until you run past and grab you. But it worked. But, you know, that never usually happens on my on my actual runs, so I'm glad it happened in the marathon. So we do this little statue puzzle 1 bit at a time. You have to push each of these statues across to that pressure plate on the opposite side of the room. So we do this one, and on the way back we'll push the other one. But for now we're going to meet up with our good friend Leon. Here he is. Now this cutscene is exactly the same in the A scenario.
It's good to see you're still among the living.
So with the... Yeah, depending on which character you pick first as well. So there's the Leon A and Claire B, which is what we're doing. Or the Claire A, Leon B, which is actually the canon way to do it. The story plays out a little bit differently, depending on which one you do. So in the Claire A, Leon B, Sherry ends up getting infected, which is an important part of... Like, that comes into play in RE6, apparently. But that doesn't happen in this one. So this one is the non-canon ending. But that doesn't matter because this is the easiest one. Claire A and Leon B are the 2 hardest scenarios, which is why I don't really want to do them. And we'll just wait for this fax so that we can just completely ignore it. And oh, what's this? Oh no. That little girl needs our help. So anyway, we're going to push some statues again. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's small and nimble. She can climb through vents to get away from things. Alright, careful not to push that statue too far, otherwise it'll get caught on the corner. And then we grab the second jewel and head back down through Marvin's office, who we haven't met yet. We meet him in the A scenario, right at the start of the game, but we don't really know who he is in the B scenario. But it doesn't really matter, we just run past him anyway. But yeah, that's another thing as well that carries over. If you kill Marvin in the A scenario, his office is actually full of zombies, which makes this part a lot harder. So we leave him alive so that we can just run in, grab this explosive, and then run out. Alright. Got the dodge. Now we head back upstairs, use the 2 jewels. And then we can meet up with Sherry again. Now, when we go back into the jewel room, that liquor is going to be waiting for us. That popped up before. And he can be a bit of a troll sometimes, so let's hope he behaves.
Were my favorite enemies in this game, just because they trolled my brother so much.
Yeah, they're so annoying. Alright. Don't do it, don't do it. Oh, he's not liking what he's doing right now. Alright, as long as he doesn't do the jumping head chop, I should be fine. Okay. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I didn't get put into caution, so that's fine. And we just blow up this door here.
Licker, no licking.
Licker, no licking. Alright, now we've got another long cutscene. One thing I don't like about Claire B is there's a lot of downtime. Lots of cutscenes, lots of long periods of not really doing anything.
Well, while that's going on, we do have a donation.
Fantastic. Now's the time.
$29 from Mikami, who says, "Let's go, Mango. I wish I could have hung out with you and all the other runners in person. Hopefully next year. Donation incentive is Mango's choice."
Alright, I might put that one to Regina, because that is my favourite costume. The red hair goes faster. And thanks, Mikami. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm bummed out as well that we didn't get to meet up. But yeah, hopefully next year.
So am I. I really wanted to meet people. It would have been my first time going to an event.
Yeah.
But that $29 to Regina puts it in the lead at $34 and gives me the chance to remind everyone that we do have an incentive bid war for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis costume selection and the Resident Evil 2 remake costume selection.
Yep, get on that. Still got till the rest of the run for the RE3 one, so get those donations in if you can. If you want to see a particular costume. Yeah, hopefully we all get to meet up at PAX. That'll be great. Fingers crossed. Alright, so now he stopped talking. We get to run away. And go straight into another pretty lengthy cutscene with Sherry. Right, now we come in here, flick the switch. Oh, nice, I got it. So, I discovered this like last year when I did this in a run. Usually you press the switch and then you have to run to the next screen to trigger the cutscene. But if you do it at just the right point, it like instantly triggers it. So that was a complete fluke that I managed to do that.
My name's Claire.
Only saves like half a second, but you know, feels good.
Every second counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's the choice between save or kill.
Oh yeah.
The chemical plant? Then what are you doing here? My mom called and told me to go to the police station because it was too dangerous to stay at home.
Yeah, I like as much as I love RE2, it's definitely my strongest run. The thing I prefer about RE3 is the ability to skip cutscenes. Makes it so much more tolerable.
But I saw it. Much larger than any of those zombies. And it's coming after me.
Completely understandable.
Yeah.
Having to, as someone who's also played games with cutscenes you can't skip, having to sit through them all a million times is not fun.
Yeah.
But if they have poor voice acting, they can be very fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the voice acting in this game, thankfully not as bad as RE1, but still gloriously cheesy. Especially with Kendo's cutscene at the start of the A scenario.
Mikami Hero has a question for you.
Oh, yes,
If
go ahead.
someone wanted to pick up a Resident Evil game as a run, what would you recommend?
Ooh, I would actually recommend this one. It's pretty simple to pick up. There's very little RNG. And it's pretty much all about fast inventory and good lines, really. There's not really any glitches that you have to worry about doing. Yeah. I would definitely recommend RA2. RA3, probably more fun because of all the RNG, but it's rough for new people to the thing. So, yeah, definitely RA2 or 1, because they're both very, very static runs and easy to learn.
And remember, RE1 comes with that very terrible voice acting that's just so fun to watch.
Yes. You're almost a Jill sandwich. Love it. Alright, so we're heading back down to the basement to another lengthy cutscene, but then we're going to play as Sherry for a little bit. Yeah, this is what I was talking about before. It's like cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. And then a little bit of gameplay, and then more cutscenes.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried. We've got to go now, honey, okay?
Now, I still quite haven't figured out how Sherry gets from the top floor of the office down into the basement, like on the other side of the RPD,
Won't.
so quickly.
What's the matter?
I mean, clearly she can teleport.
Yeah,
she
of
could
course.
leave any time she wants,
Claire,
but she understands that she is a plot device and must be here.
I heard him call my name.
She's the MacGuffin.
Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
And now she's deciding that she can, you know, help her dad from
Wait,
zombies.
Sherry, don't go alone.
Don't know how she plans to do that, but, you know, hats off to her for trying. So, bit of a clunky section, because Sherry runs very, very slowly. And we're going to be doing some climbing as well, on some boxes. Which, unfortunately, there's a bit of RNG with Sherry. Sometimes she decides to climb up and then, like, slip off it a little bit. Which, like, loses about a second of time every time she does that. So, hopefully she behaves, but it's not too much of a problem if she does. Alright, I'm pretty sure I only need to push that 6 times, but push it a little bit more just in case. Because if I mess that up, it's a huge time loss. So I need to push these boxes so that I can fill this little area with water and then walk over them. But if you're just a little bit off with the boxes, even though they form a bridge, you can't get across it because the game decides, no, they have to be perfect if you want to run across them.
So this is a Zelda portion of the game, I see.
Yeah, pretty much.
So chat
we
has
got it.
come up with their own lore for this. Sherry has tamed a licker to be her noble steed, and that is how she gets around.
That would be awesome, actually. I would love a mod where you just get to play as Sherry riding a licker. Just run around wreaking havoc. That'd be great. Somebody get on that. If you're a modder, please do that. And the Sherry section is over. So we're going back to Claire. Now we get a bit more gameplay now, thankfully. So we're going to be doing some nice little dodges here. So we have to run into the kennel with a bunch of dogs.
Sherry, are you
And then we have to
okay?
go upstairs and
Did
run
you
through a
find your dad?
whole bunch of zombies,
Yes, I'm okay.
which is always fun.
But I couldn't find him.
A lot easier with Claire, though, than it is with Leon, because Claire has a narrower hitbox, which means she can slip through small gaps a bit easier without getting bitten.
Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Because, yeah, doing the YOLO Horde with Leon is an absolute nightmare.
Claire, I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way. I can take care of myself. Wait, Sherry, come back.
Is this game the
Sherry,
running simulator?
Sherry.
Yeah, pretty much. For a lot of the run it is, at least. It gets a bit more interesting later on once we get to the sewers, though.
Got it.
But for the first part, it's pretty much just running from place to place.
I'm on my way.
Alright, pick up this key, and then we're going to head into the kennel. And pick up a crank, which is one of the staples of the RE series. Pretty much every game has a crank in some form.
Well, while we've got a bit of a quiet time, I'll just remind everyone what it is we're doing here, as we are Oz Speedruns, a group doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for the Beyond Blue, a charity working to raise awareness of mental health issues and reduce the stigma around these issues to help people achieve their best possible mental health. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com or type _donate in the chat to get that link yourself, and we have various incentives you can donate towards. You just have to put what it is you want your donation to go to in your message.
Indeed. Yeah. Very, very important cause. So please, yeah, every little bit helps.
Truly does.
Yeah. Alright, so now we head back up the stairs for a little bit more interesting gameplay here. Do some dog dodging. Thankfully, they're pretty easy to dodge in this game. Unlike the remake, where they're just absolute RNG hellhounds. Yep. Now, this bit's a little bit tricky. Alright, we got it. All the dodges I can never get in my actual runs, I seem to be doing today, so pretty thankful for that. And come in here. Thankfully, there's a first aid spray, so we get to heal up to full health. And as soon as we take this... Oh, scary. Another liquor. Remember, that jump scare always got me as a kid. Every time. Alright, light up this, and... Now that's a really, really nice looking wall, I have to say. I like that wall. Hope nothing happens to it. Oh my god, he's back. Yeah, that's how he gets through the RPD. He doesn't need doors. He just learns from the Kool-Aid Man.
There it is. I'm a couple seconds behind, so...
Alright. Well, and he's gone.
Okay, yeah, that's the mod I want someone to make, actually. Whenever he busts through a door, I want... Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Yep. I would not be surprised if that mod already exists. Somebody has to have done it by now. Oop. Ah, damn. Thought I had the space to run through, but not quite. But we've not seen the last of Mr. X, of course. He's got a few more tricks up his sleeve.
Well, we do have a $20 donation from Umbrella, if you'd like to hear it.
Yes, please.
Classic costume to push Mango outside of his comfort zone and make him stronger and more powerful.
Thanks, Umbrella. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, there we just saw what I was talking about before with the repopulating the RPD. So, yeah, if you block both of the windows in the A scenario, both of those rooms get repopulated. But because we only did one of them, the hallway with the dogs got repopulated this time. I don't think I explained that properly, but yeah. I'm really bad at explaining those sorts of things. Like, it makes sense in my head, but to anybody who's not familiar with the game, they're probably like, what is he talking about? But also have to concentrate on the run, so yeah. Like the speedrunner's dilemma. Do I focus on chat, or do I focus on getting a good time?
One.
Yeah. And, oh, what's this? Oh, he can jump really high as well. But he still can't swing. He's very, very bad at boxing.
He used the wrong arm and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you clearly went to the left and he tried to punch you with the right.
Yeah, he needs a bit more training, I think. Alright, so now we've got the last little, don't know what to call these, tiles? Yeah, we'll call them tiles. So we need these to open the way to the sewer. And we go back through Chief Iron's office. Nice, he did the jump. Now those jumps do a lot of damage. And if you're in caution, they will pretty much one-hit kill you. But they're also very easy to dodge. So if you want to get past lickers, try to bait them into that jump. Which is easier said than done, of course, but there are certain ways you can manipulate them. Because lickers don't have eyes, they only have ears. So if you do a little bit of like stutter stepping, sometimes that can get them to behave in certain ways that makes it more consistent to run past them.
Props to developers for putting that in on a PS1 game.
Oh yeah. It's actually, yeah, they did a good job with that as well, because there's certain areas where the lickers are, but there's like, you know, broken glass in some parts, so you could be just walking past them, and then you step on a bit of glass, and all of a sudden, oh, they know where you are. You thought you were being smart, but you didn't look at the, you didn't look at where you were walking.
Of course, I forgot. You just have to say lickers, no licking.
Yes, yeah, works every time. 90% of the time. Alright, so now we get to meet up with our friend again, Mr. Irons, who's not a very nice man. That fax that came in before while we were in the STARS office pretty much spells out right away just how creepy this guy is. So it turns out that he was taking bribes from Umbrella to help keep their lab secret and to keep the mansion incident all covered up so that they wouldn't get in trouble. And now because of him, the virus has spread everywhere and everybody's turned into zombies. But he's still only concerned with the money.
Because, you know, that's relevant in his situation.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't use the money if you're dead. And speaking of which, he's gonna get karma. It's gonna happen. Yeah, another lengthy cutscene. Thankfully, not too many more after this.
Well, while that's going on, we have an additional $5 from Nathan, saying another $5 for the classic skin, and since my initial 50 didn't have one, can that please go to classic skin in RE3 as well?
Nice.
Since Umbrella Jill asked so nicely.
Alright, that definitely puts that ahead, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
It puts Regina at 34 and classic at 75.
Excellent. I mean, look, classic's a good costume as well. It's probably my second favorite. Oh no. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, nope. Okay. I don't think he's fine. Oh,
Well.
I should probably equip that, because I need that for this boss fight. Alright, so we get our first encounter with Birkin. Birkin, no Birking. It's just a little mantra I like to say, so that nothing bad happens, but this fight is... Alright, I've got to concentrate. Alright. No talking, just got to focus on this. Alright, because this can be pretty tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we run away. Yep, good fight.
I'm just gonna assume that was the classic joke of, this was so difficult I need to concentrate.
Yes, of course.
Sorry. But again, I'm like 4 seconds behind everything, so...
Yep, no, all good.
You came back.
Yeah, that fight's pretty much free if you use the acid rounds. But, yeah, so what a lot of people don't realize is they'll usually dump all 6 rounds into him,
It's nothing.
but you only need to hit him 5 times. That drops him to 0 health.
Be able to find something.
And technically he's dead at that point, so you can just leave the room. But he'll still do one more roar, big hit. But that doesn't really matter. Once he's at 0 HP, that counts, and you can just leave the room. Which I was very surprised when I found that out. I was like, oh, there's a good like 10-second time save right there for free. Alright, one thing about escorting Sherry is if you get too far away from her, she will just curl up into a ball. And you will never know until you get to the exit to the room, and then it won't let you leave. So you have to run back and find her. So you have to be careful you don't take too many steps. Usually like run 7 steps and then walk a couple of steps for her to catch up. That usually does the trick. But sometimes she can just get stuck on random objects. So it's a little bit RNG, but mostly all about step count.
I mean, she doesn't have her noble steed with her.
No, unfortunately, yeah, we ran past the steed. We didn't get to tame it this time. Yeah, thankfully Mr. X doesn't know how to look down either. Otherwise we'd be in trouble. But, oh, look at this. Look at this nice wall. Let's just examine this for a bit. Oh. Oh, what happened? I'm sure she's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No big deal.
I do have a question that some in chat may be wondering, as
Yes.
Is there a reason you are using a different language?
Oh,
for
yes, of
subtitles?
course. So basically, like pretty much any game with scrolling text, Japanese is quicker because there's fewer characters in each word, so that's less text overall. Obviously, yeah, the less text, the faster those text prompts go by. So, yeah, I think the difference between Japanese and the US version is like about maybe 50 seconds to a minute over the full run. So, yeah, it makes a huge difference. Sorry, what was that?
So a significant amount of time in terms of a speedrun?
Yes, of course. But also, the difference between the Japanese and US versions of this are when this game released originally in Japan, before they released it in the US, from test audiences, they said that the game was too easy. So they decided to add some extra enemies and make the enemies more aggressive in the US version. So it's easier in that regard as well.
Which is strange. Usually it's the opposite way around, where the Japanese version of the games are harder than the US versions.
Yeah, I was surprised when I found that out, but yeah, apparently that's true. I would have expected the opposite as well.
What happened?
Get away from me. You just want my
But yeah, one of the annoying ways they up the difficulty is they turn off auto-aim by default as well. So if you don't know that the option's there, your first playthrough is going to be very rough. Because, yeah, auto-aim is pretty handy in this one. Otherwise, you're pretty much, like, spending most of your time turning. And when you're surrounded by zombies, you don't want that.
Why is she here? Now Sherry and the G-Sample are both in danger.
So this is a little follow-on from the cutscene in the A scenario, where Ada meets Annette, and then they have a fight. And Ada throws her over the edge. And we just saw her climbing back out of the sewer water. Alright, now this part as well carries on from the A scenario. If you don't kill the crocodile using the gas canister, he actually shows up here again. So there's pretty much no reason to leave him alive. Because you don't get anything for not killing him in the first scenario. And then he just ends up showing up in this one. But thankfully he's dead, so we can just run straight through here. Now, before we exit the sewer, we need 2 little medallions. which turn off like a little waterfall, so we can access the exit. Now, realistically, you could just walk through the waterfall and just get a bit wet, but Claire and Leon don't like to get wet. They styled their hair, they spent all morning on it, they don't want to get it ruined. So they would rather take the massive detour to get the items in order to turn off the waterfall first. Alright, now this part, please don't troll me. There's these cockroaches. You're about to see them. Alright, good. Every now and then, one can latch onto you, and then you spend a whole bunch of time trying to shake them off. And as I found out the hard way, if you don't shake them off in time, they will just insta-kill you, if enough of them latch onto you. So we definitely don't want that to happen. Oops, okay. Yeah, I always mess up that inventory with the grenade launcher there. So you have to quickly load in the flame rounds, because we're going to need them in a little bit. And then use the medallions. But thankfully, one thing about this game as well, the inventory is a little bit glitchy. But it's glitchy in a good way, because let's say I want to go down to slot number 4 to use an item, which is down 1, then right 1. If I press down and right really quickly, it will actually take me down 2, then right 1. To get to slot 4, you actually go down left. And there's all these little different combinations, like, if you think of them like fighting game inputs, like quarter circle forward, quarter circle back, it will just teleport to the cursor to that slot, which makes inventory very, very quick.
I mean, well, Capcom had to get its Street Fighter reference in somehow, didn't it?
Of course, yeah. But, yeah, it's only in RE2, though. I don't know what it is about this game specifically, but it's not a thing in RE1 or 3. But, yeah, it's a bit counterintuitive, but once you get the hang of all the different combinations, then, yeah, it makes menuing a breeze. And it looks really impressive, too, when you do a whole bunch of things in one go, in one menu.
And blister your thumb to hell.
Yes. Though thankfully I'm playing this on keyboard, because it's a bit more precise than controller. Not to say that you can't get a good time on controller, it's just a little bit more difficult to get nice clean lines. Because if you're using the D-pad, sometimes you might like accidentally bump left or right with your thumb. And that can throw you off a bit, especially with stuff like this, where you're running around through narrow corridors with lots of zombies. One wrong move and you get bitten.
Sherry, wait here. I'm going to check it out by myself.
Now, every time she says, Sherry, wait here, usually means something bad's gonna happen. So in the A scenario, Leon has already gone down on that elevator, so that's why we have to bring it back up. Oh yeah, nice empty room, nice narrow corridor. What could go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. Oh, he's back, and he bopped me.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, see, that one's pretty... There is a way to dodge him, but it's pretty inconsistent. And if you mess it up, he'll usually hit you twice, so... It's probably more beneficial to just take the one hit. And we grab these acid rounds that we need for the final fight. And then we're going to fight Mr. Birkin again. Except this time, he's going to be a little bit different.
Claire? What was that?
Birkin, no Birking.
Don't worry. Just wait here.
Yeah, this fight,
We'll see what it was.
practiced quite a bit, so it should be fine, but every now and then you can just get trolled if you, there's a very specific way to do the first couple of shots, and it's really hard to explain, so I'm not going to bother. But basically, the first 2 shots you want to stun him by hitting him in the head. And ordinarily, you can only, like, stun him once every couple of seconds. But if you time it right, you can stun him twice in a row. So hopefully I get that. Nice, got it. So fire 6 shots, turn, run. Oh no, I ran too far. Oh, that was close. The bad news is I've used 1 shot too many.
So is this run that optimized where if you have used 1 shot too many, it could have significant effects on the rest of it?
Well, I had a specific amount of flame rounds. I deliberately didn't pick up extra rounds so that I would have just enough. So I'm on 0 flame rounds right now, but I needed 1 more for 1 specific zombie. All it means is I have to load in the acid rounds a bit earlier than usual, which isn't too much of a deal, but it's just a small time loss, really.
Neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work. But now that you're with me, I finally
Come on,
have
Sherry, this is a speed run. Don't have time for talking. Alright, see ya. Alright, so I might actually do that now. There we go. Before I forget. Because I don't want to get to this zombie and realize I don't have any ammo left. Because there's 2 different types of zombie in this game. There's just standard zombies. They do a standard amount of damage. And then there's naked zombies. Apparently being naked makes them more dangerous because they deal a hell of a lot of damage. Which, obviously, you don't want. So, we take a different entrance to the labs than Leon does. So we're going through the basement. But as with everything in Resident Evil, there's not enough power. So we need to put the power back on before we can actually use the elevator. But the power room is infested with lickers. So we run into that wall a little bit to hopefully, yep, manipulate him into jumping. Run past. And the way back is going to be a bit trickier. Hopefully he does another jump. No, he didn't. Alright, that's fine. Good thing I grabbed that safety fast. Alright, now the power's back on, we can go upstairs. But then the power upstairs isn't on, so we have to find another power room. Yeah, Resident Evil loves its power rooms. Alright, head back to the elevator. And little trick here. After you press the button, you hold aim, and then Claire will just stay in that spot instead of teleporting to the middle of the room. So it's a little bit easier for her to get to the door. It's like half a second time save, but it's a neat little trick. So that was that zombie that I was talking about before, that you don't want to get bitten by. Because you can actually dodge him there, but you have to run back through there later on, so you don't want him there, because then he's pretty much impossible to dodge on the way out. Alright, so now we unequip this, and yeah, this is a trick that I only learned like maybe 4 or 5 days ago from the current world record holder, Pyramid K. If you unequip the grenade launcher here, downstairs there's a lot more lickers, and they can be real buttholes. But if you unequip the grenade launcher, it makes them less aggressive, which is really nice. But if you have the grenade launcher, they pretty much just, like, swarm you. I think it's because, like, you're holding a heavier weapon, and maybe you're making heavier footsteps. So, they hear you a bit better. But now we're a bit more light-footed. We can hopefully sneak past them without taking too much damage. The Ivies, we just run past them. They're pretty much not a threat. Although I say that, but I've run into them quite a few times when I wasn't paying attention. Alright, lickers no licking. Stop here, run. Oh, they both jumped. Nice. Alright, that was clean. But the way back is going to be tough. It's a bit more complicated to get past them. Because you have to do a bit of a stutter step thing to get them to behave in a certain way. Now, I would pick up this safety fast, but I've already got one. And if I pick up too many, then I won't have enough inventory space to do what I need to do. Alright, that guy didn't lunge at me, which is not good. It means I have to weave through. There we go. Yeah, when you have to weave through those guys, it's really rough because of that camera angle. And now we get back through the... Oh, I always forget about this cutscene. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the home stretch. Oh, wait, there's another roadblock.
But I asked her, and she's never even heard of the G.
Well, while this cutscene is going on, I'd just like to let everyone know that we have a $20 donation from Dark Inferno saying Hector as the name for Mario Golf, which is the incentive that we have coming up after the Resident Evil games.
All right.
The samples inside the pendant Sherry's wearing.
I'm just thinking of that scene from Troy, where Brad Pitt's just shouting, Hector! All right. Now, lickers no licking. Come on, let me through. Nice. He jumped. Nice. All right. That's exactly what you want to happen. Yeah, sometimes... So you want the first licker to get on his hind legs, so you can just run past him without him slashing you. And you want the second licker to jump. If you get the third licker to jump as well, that's just gravy. Which, it doesn't usually happen. Usually he just runs at you and tries to slash at your ankles. But we got super lucky, so I'll take it. Alright, now we're heading back downstairs to that steam room. And we're going to do a bit of a box pushing puzzle. There's a very specific way that you need to push them in order to save about 30 seconds of time. And I will show you what that way is. So you need to push it up 4 times. And then push it all the way across. 7 times. And then down 6 and a tiny bit. Right, that should do it. Now, hopefully, I haven't messed that up, and I can sort of glitch the box to save a bit of time. 6, 7 and a bit. Now, if I can just squeeze through, there we go. So ordinarily, you'd have to push it up one more time and then across again, because there's usually not enough room to sort of squeeze in there. But if you push it just the right amount, then Claire can just squeeze through and, yeah, push the box. But yeah, it's very precise. If you get it just a slightly wrong, then yeah, yeah, because then you have to push it back and then across and then up, and yeah, it's a big mess.
Sherry! Help me, Claire! The monster's after your pendant. Throw it to me! Good girl. Now run, Sherry.
Now, Mr. X also has tunnel vision, apparently.
As for you, coming
All he
back,
wants is that
find out what you
medallion.
want. Come on! Here. This is what you're
Back off to
looking
find
for.
her noble steed.
Yes.
Go get
Yeah, this is another bit where I'm like, how does Sherry get up there? So she just went into a little vent that goes, it very clearly goes down. But in a bit, she's going to appear like 50 floors up when we go back up the elevator. So there's that teleporting again. She's very good at.
We just have a question in chat asking what the world record for this run is.
Ooh, the world record as of...
If you know.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's like 52 minutes 50 something. But that was broken very recently by Pyramid K. And then 2 days later, another runner named R.E. Duke took that world record back. So there's a bit of a world record war going on for this scenario, which is pretty interesting. Because they're both fantastic runners, and watching them both go at it is just amazing. But yeah, high 52, I believe, is the world record. No, wait, 51. I can't remember. No, my PB is 53.07, so it'd have to be sub 52. So like 51.50. I'm gonna go with that. Alright, so now we pick up Sherry again. Once again, I don't know how she appeared 50 floors up after going down into that little vent. But yeah, little sad scene. She's just found her mum,
Sherry, you have to escape.
who's unfortunately passing, and Claire is going to give her
But I still
the most heartwarming speech in the Resident Evil series.
Oh, I just had a look, and it is a 51.44.
Nice. Yeah, so Sherry's pretty upset, and Claire's just like, yeah, we gotta go. And she curled up into a ball. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before when she gets stuck on things. So you have to go back and get her before you can actually leave the room. Alright, so we're coming into this elevator, and I want everybody to read the bottom left corner of the screen right there. And tell me what you think it means.
I don't know. I think I saw Godzilla signs.
Well, it says 3 men gorilla stance.
I prefer Godzilla signs.
Yeah. Alright, so we're almost at the end of the run now. Just going to do a little bit more item fetching.
Now you wait here, okay? I'll go and get this thing moving.
And then... Actually, no, 2 more boss battles. Although one doesn't really count as a boss battle, because it's kind of a freebie. Alright, we grab this key so that... Yeah, they put the key all the way down there just to show you where the save point is. Because, you know, boss battle showing up soon. Don't want to go into it without having saved. Unless you're speedrunning it, of course.
Until detonation.
Alright, over the bridge we go.
No, you only have 5 minutes. Is that going to be enough time?
I think we can manage. We'll just barely squeeze through, I think. Alright, now we have to pick these 2 up because we need to have 2 inventory slots in order to finish the fight. So they make you pick up those 2 items just to make sure that you have that inventory space. Because otherwise, you won't be able to finish the game. So, Mr. X, we pushed him into some lava, but all that's done is made him stronger. Because now he's on fire and he's taken his shirt off.
And as the zombies before told you, the more naked they are, the more powerful they are.
That's right. Oh, I messed that up. Oh, no. Alright, taking a few more hits than I'd like, but still got the rocket launcher drop. Oh, don't hit me. Okay, good. Okay, that didn't go as badly as I thought it was going to. Yeah, the first step back, I just didn't quite step back far enough, so he still got me. Alright, so yeah, well, 2 acid rounds is all you need to do, and then Ada will drop the rocket launcher. And then you use that to finish him off. And now we have 1 rocket left, which we need for the final boss. Which is the one that I said before isn't really a boss. It's just kind of a... did you save enough ammo? If so, you win. If not, reset. Alright, let's try to get through these guys. Again, the camera angle makes these dodges a bit hard. There we go. Got through them. Alright, now this is where Claire and Leon both meet up. So at the end of the A scenario with Leon, you see him jump onto the train as it's moving. But now we get the extra little true ending bit, which is something bad has made its way onto the train, and we have to deal with it.
No! What's wrong with this thing?
I don't know. The door won't open.
And our good friend Mr. Birkin is back. Except he's got a new look. He's trying something different. I like what he's done with his hair. And the tentacles really bring out his smile as well. Alright, so we use the second rocket that we have. Fire that off. Oh. I always mess up that inventory there. I forget what I'm doing. So we just wait here until those tentacles come out. And there we go. He's dead. Yeah, so the standard grenade rounds actually shoot like a cluster bomb kind of thing. So at close range, it's like, it does a hell of a lot of damage to him. So that's why we save the normal rounds until the very end. And time will be coming up pretty soon. And time. There we go. That's the end of the run. And let's see what the time we got was. Survey says 53:37. Not too bad. That was better than I was expecting. So yeah, that's RE2 Claire B. Just gonna have a quick break, and then I'll be back with RE3. So yeah, Mega Slayer, if you wanna... Got anything to say there?
It was a fantastic run to watch. I'm excited for RE3.
Thank you.